Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Very good to see you. I see that you grade very low with
Yes,
your hat.
I am very poor.
Very poor.
Very
right,
poor.
Poor 0.5. How do I get like a 10.0 hat, Alex?
Maybe if you know someone that can get to, that has access to the CGC.
By the way, where did you get that? Where'd you get that hat?
New York Comic Con. We did a collab with CGC, so they did 0.5s, 10s, and 9.8 hats and shirts. See,
I'm sad I missed out. You got to get me a 10 hat.
New York Comic. Yeah, there you go. New York Comic Con.
All right,
I got you. I got you, fam.
By the way,
as the kids say.
I like how you decided on the 0.5.
Obviously, yes.
That was your hat of choice.
That's the only things I can afford in key books. I can only afford the 0.5s. Cover only.
All right. Got it. All right. What are we talking today about, Alex?
We're going right back to Miss Marvel because you know what? Some of the episodes have aired, and there's one episode in particular had so many characters in it that we have to jump down that ride. So we're gonna jump into Man-Bull, El Aguila, Seracen, Porcupine, which was my favorite from that whole episode, and Intelligencia.
Right. Okay, so it's basically a She-Hulk episode.
It's a She-Hulk episode, yeah.
All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about the actors because they really went with new actors who had very little credits before the show. I wonder where they even found some of these people because I went on IMDb and I didn't see very much about it, but very, very, very little.
Open casting
so what
calls.
do we? Maybe. All right, so what do we start with today, Alex?
Let's talk Man-Bull.
Yeah, Man-Bull's played by Nathan Hurd. Sort of an interesting scenario, sort of a comedic thing they did with Man-Bull, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't have a live action person named Man-Bull without it being somewhat funny.
Yeah, I mean, is there much to talk about the character other than kind of like the silly scenes that we have in the?
Not really. I mean, it is what it is. He was a kind of like goon for hire that ended up, that was helping a mad scientist gather up people for experiments, and himself became an experiment, got turned into the Man-Bull, and then he's just been in a D-list villain in comics for many years.
Yeah. So these books are already expensive because they're vintage. So Daredevil number 78, July of 1971. So it's a very, very, 51-year-old book already. There's 8 9.8s, 15 9.6s, 31 9.4s, 19 9.2s, and 11 9.0s. So that's just an old Daredevil book. You can probably find these cheap at the shows though. A 9.2 sold for $200 recently. A VF is $35. It's the origin and first appearance of the Man-Bull. Mr. Klein's storyline begins. Herb Trimpe art and cover with a Jerry Conway story. So that's the first appearance and origin. Then the first cover, which is actually pretty nice. It's a nice cover. Daredevil number 79 is the following issue, August of 71. There are only 9 9.8s, same trajectory on the census. It's 22 9.6s, 24 9.4s, 14 9.2s, and 16 9.0s. That's also about a $200 book in 9.0, also about a $35 VF book raw. That's the first cover. I actually like that one better than the 78 one because he's on the cover and it looks pretty good.
It's a good cover.
Then you have Daredevil 95 is another early appearance. That's the next appearance, January of 73. There's only 6 9.8s, 25 9.6s, 27 9.4s. It's about a $6 to $10 raw book. It's about $250 in 9.4. I think what the story is here is that you go to the shows, you try to get a VF plus copy that you could probably find $5-10, get it graded, and it might be $200 $250, right? Yeah,
exactly.
So so that's a good one. And then Daredevil 96 from February of 73. There's only 10 9.8s, 24 9.6s, and 18 9.4s. That's about a $45 VF raw book. Again, you pull it out, you get it graded. And you probably have a $200 $250 book if you play your cards right.
Yep.
All right. So what's the next character we saw in She-Hulk, Alex?
Man-Bull's best friend, El Aguila.
Right.
Terrible.
Again, played by Joseph Castillo Midyet, another actor that we hadn't seen prior. Is there anything we need to know about this particular character?
No, I mean, again, these characters are so D-list in the Marvel universe that their history isn't as rich as you would say, like a She-Hulk or a Daredevil. He is a swashbuckling hero. He does have Marvel powers. His powers are like electricity, and he can use his sword to like electrocute. So not more of a villain as like the Man Bull or everybody else that was in the episode, but kind of a hero. But not much history than that. Not a big character.
Right. Also part of that whole silly, I say silly, but I say it in an endearing way.
Yeah,
So I'm silly and funny. Yeah.
Yes.
Power Man and Iron Fist number 58, August of 1979. Again, a very, very old book. There's only 12 9.8s, 10 9.6s, 3 9.4s. It's about a $10 to $15 raw VF plus. But again, a 9.8 sold for about $400 about a month ago, but people are asking double that now for them if you have one. First appearance of Aguila, the Eagle, Alejandro Montoya, Mary Jo Duff Story, Trevor Von Eden, and Dan Green art with a Bob Layton cover. Interestingly enough, Bob Layton. So
Layton.
Again, another book that you could probably pick up cheap. It's probably sitting in some boxes. I mean, Power Man and Iron Fist. I mean, I flipped through so many back issue boxes that have those in them.
Yes, yeah.
Like you could just visualize those back issue boxes. The next book we're going to talk about, they printed a lot of copies of. But Alex's pick of the week. What do you got for us, Alex? From New York Comic Con?
Of course, and I'm gonna do a first thing on our
How did I guess?
How did I guess? Marvel did these blind bag cards, and their pin cards. So what they are is they took the original Marvel trading cards from the 90s, not the same set, different sets. I'm trying to open it as we speak, and they did pins out of them from the art. And the cool thing is,
where did you get them? At the Marvel booth?
Marvel booth. You can only get them at the Marvel booth. So the pin,
that is awesome,
is the art for the card, and the backing is the original card backing.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, they're really good. And
did they limit the numbers of those?
Yeah, I mean, they were only exclusive to the booth, and then that's it. They're done. Like once they were gone, they're gone.
Wow, those are nice.
Yeah, and they're super. Like I said, they're super thick. I got another one here. Let's do this one. And these are awesome. They had chase pins, and they were all mysteries. So, if you want a full set, you had to kind of go in. Did
they say how many they made of those?
I don't remember. This is a good
I'm going online right now. Those are called Marvel New York Comic Con pins, huh?
Let's see. Beyond Amazing, the official Marvel trading card mystery pins, celebrating 60 years.
Yeah. Wow, there's a few of them for sale. These are fantastic, Alex.
Yeah, and they're again, the pins are like extremely thick.
The Spider-Man one is 35. Spider-Man one is selling for $35. Who else you get?
Electro and Spidey, the two bags I opened.
I don't know if I see the Electro one yet. Wow, those are great.
Yeah. The Marvel merch killed it this year with these things. I think.
Wow, those are awesome.
And if this becomes a thing, if Marvel decides they're going to do more of these in the future, the first sets are going to be hard to find. So I would start picking them up now if you like them.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
those are really nice. I'm very impressed. Okay, cool. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Our next self-help person from She-Hulk, Seracen.
Right, played by another actor, Terrence Clow, who we haven't seen before. This particular book, I know they printed a zillion copies.
The first, Punishers were extremely popular.
But these have been sitting kicking around in the dollar boxes for years, Alex.
Well, it was never a key, right? We know it's the first appearance, but it wasn't a key on people's radars at all.
You know what kills me is when I see a book like that, and I know I had hundreds of copies of, and who knows, I dumped them. I put them in a dumpster. We sell them for $1 each. It sold them for 10 cents each, whatever. Sold them by the pound. And then all of a sudden there's a key appearance and you're like, oh my God, I should get one. So Punisher number 22, August of 1989. That title had a very high print run. Title was very, very hot at the time. There's only 18 9.8s because there would have been no reason to get them graded.
No reason. Exactly.
The book is 10 to 15. Yeah, the book is $10 to $15 raw now. It's early Eric Larson art with Scott Williams, by the way, doing the inking. Wow.
Yeah.
Scott's been with Jim Lee for so long. You forget that he was with
that he does other things. Yeah.
Yeah, other things before that with the Mike Barron story. So that's a book to pick up, $10 to $15 now. You could probably buy him cheaper. They're $10 to $15 on eBay. You could probably buy him cheaper at shows if you
definitely
flip through the boxes. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Porcupine.
Right, played by Jordan Aaron Ford, another actor we haven't heard of. Is there anything we need to know about Porcupine?
Again, there's not this one. Porcupine has, I think, more of a history in the Marvel universe than the rest of the guys. Like, we see him a lot more. But again, a tech guy who made a suit and became a supervillain, and that's pretty much it. There's no
right.
There's no Civil War based on Porcupine activities or like World War Porcupine, nothing like that.
Got it. Another old book, Tales to Astonish, number 48, October of 63. There's only one 9.8, of course, two 9.6s, 9 9.4s, and 8 9.2s. It's about an $80 VF book. Again, you'll be able to find copies of this book at shows. Origin and first appearance of the Porcupine, Alexander Gentry, Stan Lee story, Steve Ditko art, and with a Jack Kirby cover. We always call that the trifecta.
That's it.
We always call that the trifecta. Yeah. Stan Lee story, Steve Ditko art, Jack Kirby cover. Yeah. We've said that a bunch of times on the show. That seems to be the trifecta, right?
That's it. You cannot get better.
And what are we closing with today, Alex?
Intelligencia, which is a newer, a brand new thing, character, if you will, if you want to call it. It's an entity, so it's not really a character.
Entity, right? Entity, character. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that and how it ties into She-Hulk.
So Intelligencia in the Marvel universe was a bunch of villains who got together and essentially made a brain trust. Like they're the smartest villains. They should be sharing, their secrets, their tech, their ideas. Maybe one guy could probably beat the other guy if they were paying attention, type deal. And this is, it really ties into the Hulk universe. Intelligencia helped Thunderbolt Ross become the Red Hulk. And they helped Betty Ross become Red She-Hulk. So there's a lot that they do in the comic books. It's a little bit more than the show, but you also got to keep in mind they also in She-Hulk they also mentioned Red Hulk.
Right.
They made a reference. So of course now everything's going absolutely bonkers.
Right.
And here we are. Intelligencia.
All right. So Intelligencia, Fall of the Hulks, Alpha #1. The regular cover had Ed McGuinness on it. It's got MODOK on the cover. February of 2010. There are 25 9.8s. That's going to increase. It's about $110 book, but I think, like you said, those have been flying higher. They're going to be more expensive than that now. Jeff Parker story, Paul Pelletier and Vicente Cifuentes art. Then the big book is the David Finch 1 in 25 variant cover. There are only 10 9.8s. It's about a $40 to $50 raw book. I could not find any in 9.8. That book is also moving up. And then there's an Ed McGuinness variant cover, and it's different than the main cover because it's Hulk laying down. There's only 11 9.8s. That's about an $80 book today. But again, that one's also, everything is sort of moving upwards on that. That's an upward trend on that one as well. All right, so that does it for this week. We thank you for joining us. Any questions or comments, please leave it in the field below. Otherwise, we will see you next week, same bat time.
Same bat channel.